Hey kids, Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel for a quick bonus video. I thought that I couldn't let my old GS go without one final ride. And Sod's Law has come into play today, and I'll explain why in a second. Alright, welcome back to the channel folks, and thank you to everybody by the way who commented on my reveal video that I put up. In fact, this morning at the time of recording this on, what is it, Wednesday afternoon, and the video of me doing the reveal on my new GS has done amazing numbers of views so far, and loads of comments as well. So thank you to everybody for taking the time to comment on the video, watch it and all the rest of it, and the many of you that actually watched the whole video as well. I had lots of people write to me saying, oh, you bought one, why are you having two GSs? So they clearly hadn't watched the whole video, but anyway, that doesn't matter, I understand. It's not compulsory to watch the whole video. Anyway, what am I talking about with this Sod's Law thing then? Well, today, the reason why I'm on the bike is because tomorrow the new owner comes to pick it up. So today I've been up to Nigel at Moto Tune. I've had a brand new MOT put on the bike, I've got a fully serviced and put a brand new Michelin Road 6 on the back. So it's all up to snuff. So the new owner's getting an excellent machine in tip-top order for its age anyway. And then the Sod's Law thing being, as you can tell, it's flipping raining. How annoying. It's been lovely all week, and I've been kind of tending to the bike and generally cleaning it up and getting it ready to go to its new owner. I'll roll it out this morning, and in the forecast there is the chance of showers. It was dry all morning, and then flipping it, the heavens have now opened, so by the time I get this home it's going to be covered in crud. So I do apologise to the new owner. I took a couple of snaps just before I brought her back from Nigel's, just to show how good the tyre did look on the back and how clean it was. But by the time I get this home, as I say, it'll probably be covered in crud. And as much as I love the GS, which I absolutely do, as demonstrated by me buying a 1250 version, one thing I don't like about them is cleaning them. They are like scaffolding central. It's a bit of a nightmare to clean. So yeah, sorry about that, new owner. I'm not going to have a chance to clean it before you get it. I will try and dry it off a bit though. Tell you what though, the other thing that I've noticed, now my new 1250 I rode quite a lot over the last few days, because I recorded a bikers round with Jeff and Dan on Monday, and I did a couple of 100 miles on that bike, so I got to know how that feels quite well, and I'm loving it. But then I jump on this morning, and it just makes me realise how good these BMWs are over time. This one's done at 30,605 miles, and I'm not kidding, this feels just as good as my new 1250. I mean, in fact, despite what I said on my first ride on the 1250, where I said it felt a little bit quicker and a little bit smoother, I'm not sure that is the case, you know, now I've jumped on this. I can't really tell any difference in the power delivery. I know lots of people say they can, but honestly, I'm not that great a rider. I can't feel the difference between this 1200 and my 1250. And the gearbox on this is actually smoother. Now, it might be because I've had the Gear Shift Assist Pro on here for years, and it's done those 30,000 miles, it's just loosened up. But this gearbox actually feels better than the one on my new 1250. So that of course begs the question, well, why did you buy the new 1250 with the 1200 so good? Well, it's complicated, and I did explain it a bit in the last video, but it was to do with the sort of Chinese puzzle that I'm doing by thinning my bikes out. Let's just give it a little clean. Because I needed it, or I wanted to get rid of the Goldwing, I originally tried to set it privately. I had a few time wasters. In the end I thought the only way to guarantee that I can get the money for it is to actually trade it in against a bike. And then, to my surprise, when I went to various dealers, lots of dealers won't even take them as a trade-in because they're so valuable and there isn't that big a market in the country. One of the only dealers that would do a trade-in was the BMW dealer Barnstormer, so it was like, well, I need to buy a BMW then to trade in against it. The obvious thing being a newer version of this bike, so I can get rid of this, I can get rid of the Goldwing, and then, you know, at least I've got a slightly newer GS. It wouldn't have been my first choice necessarily, but anyway, I am where I am. Lots of other people on that video, my reveal video, said, well, I thought you're thinning out your bikes, you've got rid of one bike, the Goldwing, and you replaced it with another GS. Well, of course, this bike's going, so that'll be one less bike. I sold the Speed Twin recently as well, so that's another gone. And then I'm also toying with the idea, I haven't quite made my mind up yet, of selling my Royal Enfield Interceptor, the custom one. Now, of course, custom bikes never sell for the money that you put into them, do they? Because I infamously, I bought the Enfield new. I think it was about £6 when I bought it. Then I spent another £8 getting it customised. So I've spent 14 grand on that bike, for which I copped an awful lot of flack. I'm not going to go into all that again. But at the end of the day, it's my money and my bike. I can do what I like with it. But I may now think about selling that. So obviously, I'm not going to get 14 grand for it, but maybe I'll get, I don't know, 7 or 8 grand. So yeah, I'm thinking that one might be the next to go. So by the time, and I've also got a new bike coming at the weekend, which I mentioned in the last video. I'll do a reveal video of that soon. So anyway, by the time I finish doing all my shimmying, my big Chinese puzzle, then I'll end up with, I think, if my maths is right, 3 bikes, all of which will scratch different itches and will keep me amused for some time to come. Well, it's dry here and the sun's coming out. Excellent. Maybe, oh no, it's getting wet again. So yeah, so anyway, that's the end game. That's the end game. It's a big Chinese puzzle with some interim moves. Let me put it like that. Anyway, I thought, as it's a historic moment for me personally and for the channel, because this is the bike that built my channel, I thought I'd just come out and video as an extra little bonus video. This, my last ride ever, sad times, on my R1200GS. What a fantastic bike it's been. I absolutely loved owning it, and I hope the new owner, if he has half the fun I've had on this, then he's going to have a lot of fun indeed. Alrighty, just a little extra bonus one to say cheerio to the 1200. Hope you enjoyed that. If by chance you're interested in the Royal Enfield Custom, let me know. Drop me an email to themistandflyer@gmail.com and let's get talking. Otherwise I might have to advertise it in the usual way. Alrighty, that's it for now. Next video I think is likely to be that latest Bikers Crown with Jeff and Dan. So stay tuned for that, and I'll look forward to speaking to you again soon. Until then, this has been the Mist and Flyer. Cheerio.